Hey beauties, welcome back to TPL TV. My name is Princess and you are now in the Princess Lifestyle, honey. So today we are starting with a classic glam look for the holidays, honey. I am skipping right on over Halloween and I'm going straight to the holiday looks. I am so excited for Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year. So let's just get started with the look. So I am using my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base as my base so that I can prep my skin for the makeup that we are getting ready to do. I always want to make sure my skin is hydrated, prepped and primed properly, and looking very supple and hydrated. So now I am just going in with some foundation. I know for the holidays, everybody wants to look flawless. That is always the goal. So now that summer is over, we can start getting into the more matte finish looks. So again, I am going in with a foundation that has coverage, that has the coverage that is buildable and easy to control. So I'm just taking some of that foundation on the back of my hand, and I am just covering up the spots where I want coverage most. So what I had to do for this look in particular, because my skin was stressed at this moment, I made sure that I went in to the places that really needed the coverage first. I knew that my skin was going through it right here. Shark Week was on 10 for me, and life as a whole is on 10 for me right now. I am under a bit of stress, but stress makes diamonds, so we're pushing through it. So that is why I am making sure that this full coverage look is starting with a good base. I always take my time with my skin. I don't rush myself. I just give myself the time I need to build up the coverage, because I don't need coverage to a full capacity in every area of my face, but I want to make sure that the areas where I do need full coverage get the time and attention that they need. And those areas are usually around my cheek area and not for this video, but usually around my chin. But my chin was fine. I had no breakouts there. I did have a little bit of scarring on my cheek area, and my skin just overall felt dull. So I wanted to make sure that after I put the full coverage where it needed to be, I went in with a rather bright under eye highlight. Now, I do not suggest going this bright. This was just me trying out a brighter color. I won't be doing it again because I don't like the bright highlight on me in particular, but you know, you try things and the look ended up beautiful overall, but it's just not for me personally. So I am using a rather bright highlight, but honey, you will not see me using this again. Not this shade. So I'm making sure that I go in with a sponge to blend this out, because I want to diffuse this color as much as possible. I don't want my under eye to be as bright as it could be. If I wanted this, like say I was using a shade that I'm really comfortable with and I really like, I would not use a sponge first. I would use a brush and blend it out, and then I would go in to the areas that need it with a sponge, because I would want full coverage. But when you're trying to diffuse a look and you're trying to diffuse a color, you go in with the sponge first to, the sponge will pick up some product for you and make it a more palatable look. So now I'm contouring, and I'm using a shade that's not too dark, but that's maybe one shade darker than my actual skin tone, just to bring out my cheekbones in a more subtle way, because the under eye is giving quite a bit. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just blending it out with a good Fenty Beauty blending brush. I think this brush is supposed to be for your cheeks. It's like a blush brush, but you know, brushes, even though they say they're for one thing, they're always multi-use. So That's what I'm using it for. And then I'm just going in, no extra product, but I am blending out that under eye again before contouring the nose. And I'm not adding any more extra product for this. I'm basically just going on the sides of my nose and essentially warming it up, just bronzing my nose. It's a bit of a contour, but not quite, if that makes sense, because a real fierce, ferocious contour, that's what I did in the previous video. So you guys, if you wanted that kind of look, you can do it. But this is more of a nose bronzing situation. This is one thing that JLo's makeup artist taught me. Getting a good bronzing situation going on the nose. It doesn't exactly contour your nose, but it does bring a good bit of warmth to the areas of your face that need it. So I really like doing that technique. So now I'm just following up with all of the different things that I did before, going back over the contoured areas, making sure those are blended out properly, going back over the highlighted areas and making sure those are blended out properly as well before I set. So now I'm setting with a good setting powder, and I'm just making sure that every area of my highlighted area gets this powder and is fully set, because it's the holidays. We're going to be doing a lot of moving around. We're going to be going house to house. We're going to be cooking in this makeup. We're going to be serving in this makeup. So we want to make sure that everything is set in place so that touch-ups are minimal, you know, throughout the day. You won't have to be in the bathroom, in the mirror every day. I mean, every hour, just checking and making sure our face is still on. No, baby. This is how you get your face to stay put. So you just set everything with powder. And as I said earlier in the video, it's the holiday season. The weather is cooler. So now I'm bringing out the matte looks. I know that in the summer, I want my skin dewy. I don't do too much with the powder, but I do just enough because I still do have oily skin in some areas. But now that it's the holiday season, the full-on matte looks are where it's at, okay? So get your powders out and ready, and make sure you don't forget your blush. I am contouring, well, not necessarily contouring, I'm setting the cream contour that I already applied to my face, and I'm setting that with some powders from ColourPop that I have been enjoying. It's their cheek palettes. They're pretty darn good. If you guys are interested in some new blush palettes and new cheek palettes, definitely check out what ColourPop is serving this season, okay? So now I'm going to add my contour color to my eye socket. This is the most simple way to get a gorgeous eyeshadow look. I have been doing this for years on end. I used to do it with my CoverGirl bronzer in Ebony Bronze. I don't even know if CoverGirl still makes that bronzer, but honey, that was the thing a few years ago. But since I contoured with my ColourPop cheek palette, I am following that same color up in my eye socket just to give some definition. So this look in particular is my first holiday makeup look, and this is just simple, classic glam. It's easy to do, it's gorgeous. You can do it to whatever capacity you want. If you want a super full coverage look like I'm giving, or if you want something more subtle, you can switch out the foundations, the full coverage foundations for a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. You guys know I love Huda Beauty's tinted moisturizer. It is absolutely stunning because, in my opinion, it's like a light coverage foundation with illumination naturally in it. I absolutely love that product. Huda Beauty did her thing with that product, okay? So I'm just going in with some mascara. I did do a wing liner. This is classic glam, and for me, classic glam is not complete unless you have a wing liner, whether your wing is super dramatic or your wing is kind of simple like mine. Like, I'd say it's mid-tier wing, or if you just have liner and no wing, you gotta put something on your eye, and definitely do mascara. And if you want, you can add a lash. I'm adding a lash that's more on the subtle side, and I'm adding it to the corners of my eyes so it can, you know, give me an enhancement to my eye shape, more of an almondy shape. You know, guys, I love my almondy shaped eyes. So that's what I did. And now I'm just gonna follow up with some blush. This is a blush from Nabla Cosmetics. It's my first time using it, and it doesn't really show up on camera, but in person it did give a subtle glow. But for this, since it's holiday makeup, we want the cheeks to be nice and rosy. So I decided to combine that Nabla shade of blush with a hint of a pink from ColourPop that had a little bit more potency in it. So as you can see, the cheeks are flushed and gorgeous. So this look would not be complete without a classic red lip, you guys. I'm using a lip liner from Juvia's Place, and I am overlining my top lip and lining heavily my bottom lip as well. And this is like a wine colored liner, and it's really gorgeous. It's great for the holidays. It's not matte, so it is like workable. You can move it around with lipstick. You can easily remove it and take it off and change your lip throughout the day if you want to. And I am following that up with Ruby Woo from MAC. It's a classic red lip that we all have tried at least once, right? And that is the finished look. Definitely complete the look with some gorgeous silk pajamas like you see me wearing here, a nice gold watch, some sparkly gorgeous earrings that just make you feel so feminine. If you haven't already, add on some perfume, because what's a day in a life of a feminine woman without smelling divine? So this is the completed look, you guys. I hope that you like it. I hope it was easy to follow. I'm definitely going to keep coming with the holiday looks. Honey, everything I'm gonna do is gonna be holiday related because it's the season, and I'm ready to show you guys how I celebrate the holidays, even alone or with family or with friends. I just want to show you guys how I celebrate the holidays and how I take care of myself during the holidays and prioritize my self-care and everything like that. So if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. I really want you guys to see my videos, and I want it to be recommended to you as much as possible. So definitely like this video, subscribe if you have not already subscribed, and make sure that you turn on notifications so you can catch all of my videos. Love you guys. Bye.